And it started as a Drake diss, to be honest. It's like, I was like, as like a funny way of like doing it, but then I was like, this shit sounds kind of hard though.
On May 6, 2018, rapper Childish Gambino released the song and accompanying music video to This Is America. At the time of its release, the song was revered as a damning judgment on the state of America, especially its strained relationship with race. Some journalists and writers went further. Heidi N. Moore described Childish Gambino's performance as Shakespearean. Looking at the song and video nearly 6 years later, does it hold up to past admiration and acclaim? From Amazon's Black Trauma series Them to Jermaine Emery's Denim Tears and other questionable fashion launches, Black Trauma as a commodification is high. Was Childish Gambino's This Is America a sincere and momentous effort, or just simply a highly overrated song from the average rapper?
Once again, Childish Gambino.
I fell in love with the video.
The video
gave
fire.
it all them awards based off the video.
True.
That song wasn't nothing.
True. I agree.
And that was my initial stance.
The beat was dope, but
the beat wasn't even all that.
Donald, what a big week for you. The premiere of Solo, and obviously Childish Gambino, This Is America video. Blowing up, it's huge.
To fully grasp Childish Gambino's This Is America, you have to watch the music video more than once.
Yo, it's like that computer had a brain, like you're childish, but you could also murder someone. It definitely was just like, I feel like, for me, it's kind of just like silliness and kind of seriousness.
Presently, the official music video for This Is America is less than 100 million views away from the 1 billion mark, a huge feat that highlights how important the video was in the success of the song. How many rap fans today can accurately sing along behind the song's chorus, or obsessively search for deeper meaning in Gambino's bars? And no, members of the Donald Glover subreddit do not count.
The best part about Obama is that he's a black nerd. I love that jump, because I'm a black nerd, and that was illegal until like 2003.
The themes are a lot in the official music video, so let's try to translate a few of them. The 4-minute and 5-second short film begins in a bare industrial warehouse, the only location for the entirety of the project. The warehouse is a standard facility, gray concrete floors with white and maybe cream walls. The warehouse color scheme is reflective of the video's general color palette. Childish Gambino's wardrobe is bare chest, donning gray mounted trousers. All recurring characters, such as the school children, wear similar gray bottoms with white button-up shirts. Since the song is titled This Is America, the warehouse is America, well, its foundations really. The white beams that serve as supportive structure for the warehouse can also be seen as white supremacist pillars in the foundation and creation of the United States of America. Much of the America we know today, for example, its wealth, caste structure, and culture can be traced back to the Atlantic slave trade. The enslavement of West Africans and the forced labor of their descendants was America's first profitable capitalist endeavor. The music video, directed by Hiro Murai, draws back to the history constantly, particularly with wardrobe and styling. Childish Gambino's gray trousers are similar to that of the Confederates' gray uniform in the American Civil War. Additionally, the outfit is possibly a nod to performers Fela Kuti and Richard Pryor, who serve as influences to Donald Glover, the comedian and writer, and Childish Gambino, the rapper and musician. Fela Kuti was a politically conscious Nigerian musician who birthed Afrobeat, and often performed shirtless with necklaces. Richard Pryor is one of the greatest comedians of all time. Childish Gambino mimics expressions and poses from Pryor's photo shoot for the anthology, a 2-CD compilation album. Other notes of styling and wardrobe symbolism can be found with the guest appearance from SZA, whose hair is styled in the likeness of the Statue of Liberty, a theory she pretty much confirmed with an Instagram post of the look captioned Liberty. The more bigger and concrete themes begin in the first minute of the video. The first character the audience sees is the actor Calvin II, dressed in loose cream and white clothing, and first seen picking up a guitar to play. By the 1-minute mark, Glover shoots his character doing an exaggerated pose of the Jump Jim Crow sheet music art, an 1828 minstrel song and dance. At his character's death, Calvin II's head is wrapped in the cream cloth, and his hands are tied together. Gambino's gun is quickly carried away by a schoolboy. This shot sequence represents numerous things. The guitar that Calvin II picks up is probably a nod to the banjo, a common instrument on slave plantations, which later carried spiritual and cultural symbolism for the enslaved black people, according to the Jim Crow Museum. Sadly, like many things associated with blackness, it became a mark of racial stereotypes. Racist stereotypes and propaganda Childish Gambino further highlights in his poses and mannerisms throughout the video, mimicking Jim Crow propaganda media. Soon after, the video dips into a dance sequence with the school children and Childish Gambino. The camera's focus is on the group, but the unfocused background is still very important. The school children are a focal point throughout the music video, black youth serving varied symbolism. Head choreographer Cherry Silver, who dances as one of the school children, described their role as this: "There's a lot of dark themes in it, so they wanted us to be the light of the video. You know how kids are innocent and kind of unaware of what's going on? We are there to smile and bring joy to everyone watching it, because the background is bringing so much darkness and reality." The second shot portrays a joyous church choir. Their black gowns with maroon sashes, a similar color to their blood on the wall after Gambino massacres them with an assault rifle. The scene is imitating the Charleston church shooting, an anti-black mass shooting committed by white supremacist and neo-Nazi Dylan Roof. Gun violence is another heavy theme in the music video. At the 2-minute and 40-second mark, no music plays. The silence is continued for 17 seconds until the 3-minute and 1-second mark. Childish Gambino during this time pretends to fire a gun, then lights a joint. The 17 seconds of silence most likely references the 17 victims of the Parkland, Florida school shooting. The scene serves as a memorial and reminder of sorts. This gun violence theme, particularly gun violence perpetrated by the police, continue in shot 3. The shot is a depiction of chaos, Childish Gambino and the school kids dancing carelessly while mayhem ensues in the background. The perfect imagery for the current state of America. The duality between the blackophilia and blackophobia. Namely, white people's consumption of black culture, like the dance moves of Gambino and the kids, while failing to protect black people. Fearing and impairing them through police brutality and the practice of institutional racism. Black deaths are casual and even viral when the camera pivots to the school kids leisurely watching and recording on their phones at the 2-minute and 28-second mark. An unknown individual also jumps to their death around this time in the background, as Childish Gambino continues to dance with the school children. Along with the cop car, a figure covered in all black riding a white horse is seen, representing the apocalypse and death from the Bible. Revelation 6:8 from the King James Bible reads, "And I looked, behold a pale horse, and thy name sat on him was death, and hell followed with him." Shot 4 sees Childish Gambino dancing on top of a red Toyota car with SZA nearby. Calvin II's character is back playing his guitar. All cars in the shot are older Toyota models from the 80s and 90s. The commentary around the symbolism is varied, with some theorizing it points to black people being brutalized or killed during traffic stops, or the state of America's economy. The last shots, 5 and 6, have Gambino running in a weakly lit warehouse. He is chased by characters from the early shots like the school children. This last reference is one to Jordan Peele's Get Out and The Sunken Place. There are many other symbolisms and theories that are not included in this brief digest, but Childish Gambino has purposely not spent on the video's concept, leaving it up for debate and discourse. The griots. The griots? The griots? The griots? I feel like I'm always mispronouncing.
What is a griot? Who is a griot? A griot comes from ancient Africa.
Back again to the actual song, this time the production flow in bars. The song is produced by Ludwig Göransson, who is a longtime Gambino collaborator. He's also done musical work for director Ryan Coogler. His scores can be found in Coogler's Fruit Row Station, Creed, and the Black Panther installments. This Is America includes ad-libs from 21 Savage, Young Thug, Quavo, Slim Jimmy, Black Boy, and JB. Childish Gambino raps over a trap beat with an 808 bass influence. Overall, the song sounds okay, good even, but great not so much. Its greatest weakness, Gambino's actual bars, an occurrence that defines Childish Gambino's rap career. Cool and sonically well-produced songs, but with questionable and sometimes downright corny lyricism. Since his emergence on the rap scene, Gambino has always had this chip on his shoulder, astutely expressed in his debut studio album, Camp, classifying himself as an insecure nerd who's never fit in or been accepted. He sort of blames hip-hop heads for not seeing his weird and great art, and being stuck in our old ways of what a mainstream rapper should sound and look like. This stance is ironic considering the landscape of rap at the time. Childish Gambino is not hip-hop's first nerd, sensitive, or alt rapper. The 90s saw the rise of De La Soul and Andre 3000 from the Atlanta duo Outkast. Through Kanye West's College Dropout, gangsta rap had effectively died out and the performance of black masculinity in the genre was progressing. The 2010s saw debut albums from alternative rappers like Tyler the Creator and the unapologetically girly MC Nicki Minaj, proving the genre was widening identities and stories that made it mainstream. Even his love and hate relationship with Drake highlights Gambino's conflated ego and insecurities around his standing in the culture. In a 2014 Hot 97 interview with Peter Rosenberg, he said, "I don't want people to think I hate Drake. I don't hate Drake at all. I really like Drake, if not for no other reason than he makes me better. He really does. I had to fight that all the time. I knew when I was doing Childish Gambino from the beginning, like, they're not gonna let me do this. They already have a rapper, singer, actor guy who's whack. That's really what it was. If he was white, it would be different. They'll be like, they're not the same. It's very specific. I don't dislike Drake. I think he's a really good writer and rapper. Right now, I definitely feel I'm better than him, only because I'm working harder than him right now. If he came in and was like, let's rap, I'll be like, oh, I'm gonna kill you.
With every passing moment, thoughts of you run through my head.
Both This Is America and Kendrick Lamar's 2015 All Right were highly referenced during the 2020 Black Lives Matter protests, with All Right a certified protest anthem. Lamar's music video is revered and cinematically shot, ranging from a mix of Afro-surrealist shots. The video, nearly 7 minutes long and filmed entirely in black and white, portrays street violence, police brutality, and joy amid chaos. The contrast between joy and sorrow is woven through Lamar's storytelling in the song. The song is originally inspired by a visit to South Africa, where Lamar saw the plight of Black South Africans. Shifting from the chorus, "We Gon' Be Alright," to his Compton experiences, the political and economic struggles associated with Black Americans, back and forth between optimism and pessimism, and bars filled with literary devices like imagery, illusion, personification, and so forth. Compared to Childish Gambino's lyrics in the same socially conscious This Is America, the contrast is glaring and not in a good way. Much of the song is him repeating phrases and words, but not in a smart literary device way, but more so, I wonder if he's run out of things to say way. The more tangible bars in verses 1 and 2 don't provide deeper storytelling, but with okay metaphors and imagery. Again, the music video carries much of the praise and social media obsession. In his 2018 Very Smart Brothers piece for The Root, Damon Young wrote, "This Is America was created specifically for the take economy. You do not build and release a thing like that if you do not want people to be engaged with it. Those familiar with Glover's entire career know that while he is undoubtedly involved into what it is that he is now, who he was before this was accused of loitering in the same anti-blackness that Kanye sits in now." Young spoke in the commentary around the video, especially the social chatter that Donald Glover had overtaken Kanye with his very pro-black art piece. Firstly, while this episode of The Griots provides a lot of critique on the song itself, This Is America music video is great cinematography. Hiro Murai is a great director who's worked with Glover on the Atlanta series, directing much of the series' best episodes like Teddy Perkins and Alligator Man. Anything the song lacks, the music video picks up with visual symbolism. Some moments seem inconsequential but are very important to This America's theme and message. What is This America's message, or better yet, its purpose? It's riveting black art from an artist who's been awkward on his black identity, bordering sometimes on anti-blackness now and then. So Bad, Childish Gambino in rap spaces was noted as a lot of white people's hip-hop's equivalent to a token black friend. Donald Glover was born in California but raised in Stone Mountain, Georgia. His parents were devout Jehovah's Witnesses, a religious background that had a huge impact on his upbringing. He describes his upbringing as further amplifying his alienness. In a 2017 Daily Beast interview, he said, "As a kid growing up in the South, people didn't know what it was. It gave me a very different perception of what religion is because in the South, everyone is Southern Baptist. Jehovah's Witnesses are Christian, but it felt like a small and almost cult-like in Atlanta." The city of Stone Mountain is fascinating. Georgia's most popular tourist site is also famous for having the largest and grandest memorial to the Confederacy. The memorial carved in the mountain's rock depicts Confederate leaders, President Jefferson Davis and Generals Robert E. Lee and Thomas J. Stonewall Jackson. The mountains had a long and insidious relationship with American white supremacy. The site is viewed as a holy place for the Ku Klux Klan, which saw its second coming anointed at the mountain summit in 1915. That contextual history is important to understand Donald Glover's black experience, especially his youth. After attending and graduating from NYU Tisch School of Arts, he landed a role in Tina Fey's NBC sitcom 30 Rock as a writer. His hiring was part of the diversity initiative within the network, which Glover confirmed in a 2023 GQ interview, stating Fey had personally told him it was a diversity thing, and Kenya Barris, the creator of the Blackish series, was second in line for the role. Tina Fey has always been weird with race in her writing and creative projects, so one can only imagine the atmosphere of the writer's room and the double consciousness of being the only black writer. Going further, when describing the experience, Glover said, "I used to have stress dreams every night where I was doing cartwheels on top of a New York skyscraper with all the writers watching me." As a black man and human, Donald Glover is allowed to create around his black identity, an identity he's allowed to have many versions of as he ages and experiences new things. That being said, This America isn't bringing that much newness to what's already been said on race in America. It only looks shiny because the regurgitated topics and themes are well disguised, only for you to unravel them in the aha moment. No, it's not black trauma decoration like the Dem series, but maybe a little bit of black trauma commodify like fashion designer Jermaine Emery's watermelon wallet and chicken bone necklace. This America sweeps at the Grammys and other award shows. Childish Gambino is cheered for his brilliance in depicting racialized art, while engrossed in anti-blackness tendencies for years. But everyone's pace at unlearning white supremacy is different, and so maybe the benefit of the doubt is needed.
Where did the fascination with thick Asian girls come from?
I talk about it on the Camp album. It's just, again, like that's just, the fascination. It's not really fascination. I think like people think I have a fetish